You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast. You're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. I got Eggert on the other line. Eggert, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. Today, we are reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3. Marvel Mondays is back again this week. A lot to get into this episode. A lot of our predictions came right for this one, too, so I was excited.
Honestly, they did. Yeah. Bro. But honestly, I was still kind of pissed because I feel like we should have seen the Power Broker this episode. I'm mad that they're dragging it out. And with this thought, that's why I kind of think Sharon Carter has to be involved with the Power Broker, because like I said, I just feel like we should have seen it, but all we really seen in this episode was Sharon. So I feel like she has to be connected to him somehow, bro, because that's the only reason I will accept for not seeing the Power Broker yet, bro. It has to be something deeper going on, and that's why we seen Sharon instead of the Power Broker, because I really wanted to know him and start to develop his character a little bit this episode.
Well, we'll definitely see him next episode. I just feel like them bringing up his name so much in this episode, I feel like that was enough for the fact that we had Zemo this whole episode and all the action that we seen and a lot of information that Sharon gave on what's happened to her since the blip and everything. Like, I feel like they gave us enough. So in my view, I feel like just mentioning the Power Breaker as much as he is, like, I feel like that's enough for this episode.
Because I really didn't have any ties to Sharon. So when she came back, she popped back up on the scene. I was just like, okay, that's cool. But I still wanted to see like the main villain. You know what I'm saying? But it was good. But it was good to see Zemo and things like that. And they're in cahoots for right now. Like Sam, Bucky, and Zemo is all together. I don't think that will be for the whole series. I think they will have differences moving forward. I think Zemo is really just using them up for what they're worth right now, trying to find the super soldier serum. But once they find the Power Broker, that's when they're really going to split off. And I still think he could possibly be in cahoots with the Power Broker too. Like, I think they can all be connected, bro. I think they can still all be connected.
Yeah, we got a lot to see. I was intrigued this episode because I thought what you just said about how you feel like Zemo might still be trying to like use them for his own game. I thought that happened this episode. So we'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. But the biggest plot points from this episode are the Power Broker is revealed as the villain. So like we just said, his name was brought up a lot this episode, even though we didn't see him. Carly is taking extreme measures as leader of the Flag Smashers now. That was real interesting to see. I didn't think she'd have that side of her. And John Walker realizes he can't always follow orders. So he's starting to understand the Avengers aspect of, hey, bro, you going to be a puppet to these government people, or you just going to do it your way? Because we do it our way. We can't just listen to them the whole time.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, okay, go ahead.
Black Panther 2 Easter eggs were put in here too. I feel like for Black Panther 2, we definitely going to get some Easter eggs leading to that.
I really think Bucky is going to eventually go back to Wakanda, and he's going to be like this white wolf figure that they keep mentioning. And I think he had said that in episode 2, or it might have been episode 1. He referred to him being the white wolf in with the Black Panther and Wakanda and things like that. But yeah, I want to go back to the John Walker point you made, because you said it last week with your theory. I really think John Walker is going to get fed up with how he's being used. He's going to be upset with how he's being used and things like that with the government. And he will eventually go up and meet with this Power Broker and get some actual super soldier powers or some other type of powers, whatever, to actually become this hulking figure that he wants to be, like this big persona that he wants to be, because he really does not feel like it right now. He really feels like he's still being talked to and being treated like a scrub, when he really wants to be feeling like the old Captain America, and he's not getting that respect at the fuck all.
At all whatsoever. You gotta earn your stripes out here, bro. You can't just walk in.
Facts. I think thought he'd just walk in and he was gonna be Steve Rogers. Nah, nigga.
Steve had stripes from day one. Like when he was just a scrawny little dude, Steve had stripes then. Like it was just in him. Like it's just certain people, it can't be on you. It's got to be in you. I tell people
But
that all the
but the
time.
same thing happened with Steve. Like Steve didn't want to be like a propaganda tool. Like he wanted to be somebody who fought for America, but he didn't want to be like a puppet. So I feel like John Walker is starting to feel the same way. He doesn't want to be a puppet of America. He wants to do things his way. So I think he's starting to feel that way, just like Steve Rogers did. But obviously, Steve Rogers was like a hero and a stand-up guy, and I think this nigga's a scumbag. Like he trying to do shit like Dirty Way and shit like that. And I'm gonna get into a theory later in this episode of how I think he will play moving forward.
Well, let's go ahead and get started. We start the episode off with a GRC commercial, and the GRC is the Global Repatriation Council. And I put this as the first thing because I just felt like it was a very big point of how I think you've seen this in like different movies and stuff too. Like in the Hunger Games, like the government tries to make things sound all nice and make things sound better than what they are. So the GRC is supposed to be this reset, restore, rebuild type of council that's supposed to be helping the world thrive and get back to normal, when in reality it's a bunch of military stuff going on behind the scenes where they're just trying to keep stuff quote unquote in order the way they want to. And that gave me kind of a Hunger Games vibe because when you watch the Hunger Games, it's like you have all these nations that are at the whim of all the rich people in society in this city, and their government is trying to make it sound like they're doing everything for the people, and they're not. Granted, it's two totally different movies, two totally different situations, but I felt that was similar. Yeah,
I completely understand. And this is why Carly Morgenthau is doing what she's doing, because they're not taking care of everybody, as you've seen. Like the Flag Smashers have to take care of their own because the people are not taking care of them. Like the government is not taking care of the people. So she has to steal all these medical supplies and things like that just to support her people and all the people that were here during the blip that are not supported anymore since everybody came back. And that's why we figure out that's why they're so upset with everybody coming back, because they're not getting the same type of love and the same type of attention that they had before the blip.
True. I totally understand it. Do I think some of her methods are a little extreme? Yeah, but I definitely see where she's coming from. So I definitely understand her point.
And I'm glad they're not the big bad of this series. I'm glad there's somebody bigger than them, bigger than them. I'm glad we have the Power Broker as like the big bad of this series, because they're kind of boring to me. They don't really do too much. Like we understand their point, but they're nobody that's going to fight against Falcon and the Winter Soldier type shit. They're just like some kids just trying to help their people. Like they really ain't no big bad that you really have to worry about like that, in my opinion.
Because I don't necessarily think they're boring, but I do agree with the fact that they don't give pure evil vibes. Like they're
like you understand
they're doing
them.
what's necessary. They're doing what's necessary. So totally understand them. But then we get to the next scene where John and the GRC invade a hideout looking for Carly and the Flag Smashers, but no one is intimidated by his Captain America persona. And I felt like that just goes right back to the point of, hey, you got to earn your stripes, bro. Like you coming off kind of, it's like, you know, people who try to act tough, but you laugh at certain people because, you know, like that's not you. Like I feel like that's how they're treating him right now, because dude that he jacked up, it was like, I know who you are. Like I'm just not intimidated by you.
Spit on him. You know how disrespectful that nigga gotta be to spit on you. And he didn't do anything. He didn't hit that nigga or nothing to intimidate. He was just like put that nigga down and he walked off mad as fuck. Like, man, you a pussy ass nigga, man. I swear you pussy. But
see, what you're supposed to do is when he spit on you, you're supposed to take the shield and bam, right in his face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do any of that shit. I'm like, man, this nigga a hoe, dog. This nigga really a hoe. But I think people are realizing that he is really just like a manufactured Cap. Like you say, he has to earn his stripes. And he really has done nothing for America. We've never seen him on TV. Like by this time, people have seen Steve Rogers on TV. They've seen that he's an Avenger, that he's a part of the team. Like this dude has no backing. Like his backing is the government. Like that's not good enough. Like we need something more than that, my nigga. Like people are just saying like you're manufactured, my nigga. We don't care about you.
We need film on you. You ain't got no film.
That's exactly like my nigga. We need some evidence that you really that nigga to really like be on your side and be intimidated. And we have none of that. And what you're doing to me, I'm definitely not intimidated by you now. You ain't even jack me up for real. You ain't even do nothing to me. It's even more evidence.
Sad state for John Walker right now. But then we get to the next scene.
No. I want to stay on this scene a little bit longer because him and Lamar had a little bit of a rift after this scene, because after they walked out, he was talking to John Walker and he was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to follow the rules and things like that. And
Oh
John
yeah,
Walker was
he
like,
did
man,
say that.
John
Yeah.
Walker. John Walker was like, man, I'm not really dealing with that. You can see on his face, he really wasn't comfortable going with the government's orders anymore. He kind of wanted to get away from that. And I think that mentality will lead him to the power broker down the line in this series, because he's like you said before, like he hasn't earned his stripes, and he wants to be that hulking figure, and he doesn't even have that. So I think he will try to move away from that government backing and just be on his own and be like a rogue agent, I guess, and try to do things on his own and do it his way instead of having the government orders and shit like that, and move behind the GRC. Like, this nigga's hiding behind a company. Like, that shit is crazy. Cap never did that.
Because like with Cap, when Cap first started, he wasn't necessarily hiding behind anything, but he was with when they were having the World War, in Germany and everything. Like, he was with that movement with the military and the government, but it was public. It was broadcasted. Like, he was a symbol. The I want you, Uncle Sam guy.
Yeah.
Like, they had Cap on those posters and everything. So he was really a figurehead, and he was really on the front lines at the same time. But like you just said, John Walker, you're hiding behind a company. Yeah, you were introduced to the world in the suit and everything, but they don't see what you're doing. They just know that, okay, this is the person in case like aliens or something come down. This is what we can point to. But what about the everyday crime that you have to fight through? They need to get film on him like that, and they don't got any.
And he couldn't even handle the Flag Smasher. So how the hell this nigga gonna handle any aliens or anybody in the Avengers? Like, man,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Avengers level threat? No thanks.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm gonna keep fighting these niggas I'm running up on. Niggas in hideouts and shit. That's my style.
Yeah, then we get to the next scene where Sam and Bucky make it to Germany to see Zemo, and Bucky goes in alone. He tells Sam, look, no, this guy's all about Hydra. If you come in, he's gonna automatically know right off the bat, hey, I'm just gonna be used for whatever. If I go in, it's just one-on-one, might have a better chance of getting him to do what we want him to do. And Zemo tries to break him mentally right off the bat just to see where he is. And I said that was going to happen. I said Zemo was going to try to get the Winter Soldier out of Bucky, and he tried it literally as soon as he walked in. But he knew it was going to fail, though. Like, I think he said, I just want to see if there's any pieces of him still there.
I don't think he knew it was going to fail. He just wanted to see if it was still in him, and like he would react to it. And Bucky didn't react to it. But I do think the Zemo still got into his head. Like, by the end of this episode, like, Zemo was telling this nigga what to do. Like, when they were in the bar, when they were running up to see Selby or whatever, like, he was telling Winter Soldier what to do. So it's really like he really still got into his head after all. It's just not in that same controlling way. But he was still telling this nigga what to do, and he made him turn back into Winter Soldier. He turned back into Winter Soldier, and he was recorded.
But I don't think he can. I don't think he's back in Bucky's head. I think Bucky just can speak different languages. Like, he's fluent in like 2 or 3 different languages. So I feel like he was just understanding what Zemo said. I don't think it was kind of like a mind control type thing. I don't know. Maybe maybe it wasn't. But I'm leaning on that.
My point is, he made Bucky turn back into Winter Soldier. He didn't do it in the he didn't do it in the controlling way like we seen in what was that, Civil War or in Winter Soldier? Which I think it was Civil War. It was in Civil War, yeah. But he was still telling him what to do, and he made him go into the Winter Soldier, something that Bucky really didn't want to do. And that's what I said last episode. He was going to make him turn back into that. And Bucky was really reluctant to do it, but he was just like, he had to do it. It was a part of the plan, so he had to do it. But I think that will really get Bucky fucked up moving forward because, like I said, he was recorded. And that is a part of his little deal with the U.S. He can't be caught fighting, and he can't go back into that Winter Soldier mode. Because now niggas going to be like, oh, Winter Soldier back. Like, we can't get part in this nigga anymore. So is he going to get let back into the U.S. after something like that? And it was recorded, so you already know it's going to hit the internet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bucky done got fucked up trying to listen to Zemo ass. So, like I said, it wasn't like the Civil War type shit, but he still got into Bucky's head, in my opinion. Or turned it back.
Did you pull anything else from that scene necessarily? The scene where he went to go get him?
Bucky goes in alone. Zemo tries to break him mentally. Nah, because you're going to get to the next part. So, no, I have nothing else.
Yeah, so we get to literally the next part where Bucky tells Sam that they have to break Zemo out of prison in order for him to help. And they plan this breakout, and it was one of those montage things where Bucky was telling them how the plan was going to go, and the plan already literally happened. So that was hilarious to me. So that was hilarious. Sam was reluctant at first, but he trusts Bucky enough to be like, all right, let's do this. And they find out
he
Zemo
didn't
has
trust
been
Bucky. It already happened.
Oh,
Like, while he was speaking to Sam, it happened. It was just like, damn.
No, I'm just saying, like, once, even though it happened before he even got a say so on it, it's like once he seen Zemo, it's like, because Sam still had a choice on whether he could call and get Zemo back arrested, but he chose to trust Bucky and be like, all right, let's do this. He already out, so I might as well trust it at this point. That's what I mean, like, when I say he trusted Bucky. But they find out Zemo is rich this whole time. I did not know this man was rich. That's crazy. Filthy rich, like super rich Russian mob gangster type rich. That was very interesting to me. So I do agree. He could have ties with the power broker just from money alone. That
too. And I think his father was Baron Zemo, and Baron Zemo was like another like scientist back before this Zemo. What's dude first name? I forgot what dude first name is. This Zemo.
His first name is Zemo. I think Baron is his last name, but I think they say last name first.
Now Baron Zemo is his father, but I know Baron Zemo was like a rich scientist back in the day, and now that's where like all of his riches really came from, and it really was like passed down, and that's why they were like really royalty in Sokovia, and that's really why he was so bad, because the whole damn country was destroyed by the Avengers. Yeah.
Because he said when they were getting on the plane, he was like, "I'm a Baron," and I'm like, "Oh, so his name is Zemo Baron." That's why I thought it was his last name.
Oh, is that how it is? I don't know.
Yeah, I that's why I was assuming. I was like, he said I'm a Baron, and he said something about how my whole family is like wealthy and stuff like that, and going to the we own Sokovia type stuff and everything. Yeah. So that was interesting to me. I was like, we'll see how far this money gets him. And like you just said, Zemo tells Bucky that he has to become the Winter Soldier when they go to Madripoor, because Madripoor is where the doctor is that they're looking for, who is creating the super serum for the super soldiers. And Madripoor is basically like a European New York City. I think that's what Sam said when they got there. He was like, this is kind of like New York City.
Like a Gotham. It felt like a Gotham type of city. Like it really felt
for
like
real.
I got Gotham vibes. I got Gotham vibes. It really felt like some slum shit, like regular New York City. And Gotham is based on New York City, so it really would make sense. I got Gotham vibes from this though.
I gotta watch it again. I didn't get Gotham vibes.
I got Gotham vibes from this shit.
Maybe it was the out view, like when they were going to the city and you see the city in the background. It looked all bright and shiny. The part they went to was slums, but it looked all bright and shiny. I was like, nah, this is not Gotham at all.
I got Gotham. We're more like.
And then next scene we get Carly's mother passes away. I'm assuming it's her mother because they call her Mother Drea or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was assuming that was her mother.
And we figure out that's the reason why they really started to do this whole flag smasher thing, because of her. I guess it was she died for them. I didn't get her backstory. Like I don't know how she died. I feel like it was something that was like we missed there. But I think
they were trying to use the serum to get her to feel better, weren't they?
Was that it?
I think they might have been.
It was definitely I feel like it was a plot hole in between that. Like I feel like we missed something. Like because they said she was the reason why they were doing what they were doing, stealing all the medical supplies and things like that. Because I'm assuming she was the head of the GRC before she died. Possibly. I guess she was the head of the GRC, so she wanted to take care of everybody. But then when she died, it was just like everything started to fall apart. So she was like, "I'm finna get hell on all you niggas that like contributed to this shit." So that's what she did. But yeah, we forgot like that's really the reason why she doing what she doing.
Yeah, I hope they dive in a little bit more to that. I'm pretty sure Carly will probably give a monologue or something in the next episode when they confront her. What was the next scene? Sam, Bucky, and Zemo make it to Madripoor and they ask for Selby. And Selby is like a dealer, I'm guessing, in this situation, who is in this nightclub. And we come up on the part where, like you said, Zemo basically instructs Bucky to set the tone and like kick everybody ass in there so the people know they for real. And because they were asking for Selby and the people was acting like they didn't want Selby to be dealing with them or whatever. And then Bucky had to go Winter Soldier on everybody. And what was Sam's name? Mr. Smiles or something?
Yeah, Smiley Tiger or some shit.
Yeah, Smiley Tiger. I'm like, bro. I'm loving the racial call outs on this though, because what did he say? He had on this fly ass suit. Sam was fresh. I ain't gonna lie. And he was like, I look like a pimp. And then Zemo said, only by American definition can a black man be dressed well with money and be considered a pimp. I was like, I'm loving this. I'm fucking with how Marvel just throwing out all these slights at American racism. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
That's right.
That was a great part. And they get up to where Selby is, and Selby gets shot after Sam's cover is blown. Sam forgets to turn his cell phone off. He gets a call from his sister. And before that happened, they almost reached a deal because she was reluctant to do a deal at first. But then Zemo offered to give her the Winter Soldier in replace for information on, what was the name? Dr. Nagel, and the information on the super serum and the power broker as well. And right as soon as they were about to make the deal happen, Sam's cell phone got off, and I'm like, shit, what's going to happen? And then Selby gets shot, and a bounty is put on their heads. What was going through your head in that whole scenario?
Who the hell shot Selby? Because I was so confused. This shit all happened so fast. Because I thought they was finna beat everybody ass, but then you just see gunshots come out of nowhere, and I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like a secret person, a secret admirer or whatever. But we ended up finding out that was Sharon Carter. But I didn't know how they were going to honestly get out of that situation because they were getting chased, weren't they? I feel like they were surrounded before. Yeah, it was like people chasing them. But yeah, obviously we figured out it was Sharon Carter. But I was just trying to figure out who the hell was saving the day like that, because they really came through clutch as fuck, because they should have been dead.
I'm wondering who sent the text out, because it's like, well, it had to be one of her bodyguards or something that was there, because a text just went out to the masses and was like a 1K bounty put on the people who shot her. And I'm like, y'all didn't give no description of who shot her.
Oh, you right. What?
No, nobody gave a description in the text. They just said $1,000 for the killers of Selby. And I'm like, y'all not gonna say who did it? Because y'all just have people around her killing each other.
That was weird. Who sent her that text? Or sent him that text? Damn.
I don't know. That joke was crazy. It came out immediately, like as soon as she was shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was weird.
Zemo was like, drop y'all weapons. Like, we gotta look like we weren't involved in this at all. And then as soon as they dropped their weapons, the mass text went out to everybody. I'm like, damn, like, did somebody know this was going to happen or something? That was crazy to me.
Yeah, because the only person I could think of who did it would be Sharon Carter, but it wouldn't make sense of why it was her. But that was the only one that made sense, because she was the person who shot the Selby. So I'm like, who else would send a text out like that? So the only person I can say is Sharon Carter. Other than that, I don't know. Truly.
I'm hoping Sharon ain't going dirty on them. I'm hoping not.
And I really think, and I think Sharon is dirty, honestly. I think she's helping them because she knows them. So she was trying to help them find more information on this Dr. Nagel and this super soldier serum. But I think she does have a tie to the power broker, and that's how she has so much money and influence in this city. I really think that's where a lot of her power came from the power broker. The power broker gave her a lot of this shit, all the art that she had in the club or whatever.
Yeah,
it was passed down by the power broker and shit like that. So I think like the power broker, like they said, is always watching. So he's somebody who's never seen, but his eyes and ears could possibly be Sharon Carter. So I think Sharon Carter is definitely the eyes and ears of his whole operation. But I think she just helped them out because that's the partner. And I don't think them finding the super soldier serum would have interfered with the power broker and shit like that. I don't think it would have interfered, because I don't think she and I'm skipping the forward here, so that's my fault. But I didn't. No, you're good. I don't think she accounted for Zemo shooting the doctor. I think she just thought they were just going to get information out of the doctor to find the power broker or more of the super soldier serum, but she didn't account for the nigga dying, because obviously we find out that Nagel was working for the power broker to make more super soldier serum and shit like that.
Right.
Didn't account for him to be shot. So that's why she was so surprised when that nigga got shot. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so I think it's a whole lot of shit going on behind closed doors, bro, with Sharon Carter.
I wouldn't be surprised. You got a lot of good points, because I was like, what? I mean, she said she's been like doing missions and like doing operations since she's been like outcasted from the US and basically banned, so the country that she's in, she said, I might as well hustle to the full extent and I might as well live like one. So I didn't put too much thought into it, but I'm glad you said that though, because now that opens my eye that she could be helping him.
Because where is her money coming from? If she comes from the US, like she still has no money for real, unless she still has access to her bank accounts. But this still wouldn't
Well, she can get paid in cash, like European cash.
yeah, but it still wouldn't make sense of how she got all of like those were expensive arts that she had in her club. Like those were like $1 million art pieces that she had in her club. Like I don't care how much she was making in the US, she ain't affording all of that art that she was getting. So a nigga who really has money was paying for her shit, my nigga. So I'm like, it has to be this power broker nigga, and she's working for him.
And another thing that I wanted to point out, when she saved them and got them in and they all were talking and everything, she really pointed out once again, we're in a situation where the Avengers type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Favoritism. The Avengers favoritism is real, because we didn't think about the Sharon Carters and all that stuff when the blip ended and like Thanos was defeated and all that and everybody came back. All the Avengers, their lives went quote unquote back to normal, even though Wanda went through what she went through and stuff. All the Avengers had an opportunity at least to get their lives back to normal. But the regular agents like Sharon and stuff like that, no, you're still banned. Yeah, Bucky's been pardoned and allowed back in, but he was the partner to Captain America and America loves Captain America. So yeah, you're going to pardon the big names. You're going to pardon the main faces that you're always seeing and hearing. But the smaller people, nope, you're still banned. You still broke government rules and all that. We don't want to see you back here. If you're here, you're getting arrested. So just like how earlier in the show, we seen Sam still face racism as an Avenger, to a smaller extent of like an extended Avenger, Sharon is facing the same type of discrimination. Like, damn, just because I'm not Captain America or a Black Widow, that doesn't mean I don't deserve to still be treated like I didn't help save the damn world. So
yeah, and she really was forgotten about because they didn't even use their pool to try to get her back in the States. They really forgot about Sharon. Like, we don't know where she went. It was just like, she gonna find it. It's Sharon, so she can do it. She can make it do what it do. Like, they really forgot about her. I don't give a damn what Sam was talking about. Sam was like, yeah, I was thinking about you here and there. Like, Sam, you was back in the US, you was cool, and you was moving on with your life. You was not worried about Sharon, dog. I don't care about none of them lies. For real.
Because you would have said something immediately, like within 2 weeks, you would have said something about Sharon. But it's months after now. This is months
That's
after.
what I'm saying. Bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this nigga forgot about her, bro. It's okay. It's okay, but she understands.
Just admit it. Just admit it. All right. What happens next? She offers to help them get Wilfred Nagel. And then they find him and question him. And he tells all the secrets he knows about Hydra's involvement with the super soldier serum. And Sam was really offended on how he didn't even refer to Isaiah as Isaiah or as the Black Winter Soldier. Like, he just referred to him as a test subject. Like, and that happens a lot with Black people, like the Tuskegee experiments we were put through in Lovecraft Country, how we were experimented upon. With certain white people, we are just test subjects. Like, we don't have names, like we don't have personalities or anything. So that was huge to me. What did you pull from that scene?
And that's why Isaiah was speaking on this situation like that. Like, them niggas didn't see me as a hero. Them niggas literally just tried to come in my cell and get my blood to keep on making serum, bro. That's all they wanted me for, bro. They didn't come in here asking me if I wanted to fight anybody. Like, them niggas just wanted me for my blood, my nigga. And that's why he's so angry and upset, because he was fighting for America at first before they threw him in a cell or whatever. Like, he was actually trying to fight for the country, and then they really turned on that nigga, bro. So that's crazy. But I liked Nagel's explanation of his serum. The perfect serum was basically what he tried to make. He didn't want everybody to get bulky like a Steve Rogers. He wanted everybody to be like a subtle, like, you still look skinny, but you really are strong underneath all that skinny shit. So niggas really couldn't tell if you had the super soldier serum or not. I fucked with that. I fucked with the perfect serum and shit like that. I like the where his mind was at.
Yeah, I did too. I love the fact that he said that, because I noticed that with Carly and the rest of the people who were considered super soldiers, so I'm like, damn, like, how come they aren't all buff and stuff like that, like how Steve got? But once he explained the perfect serum and how he put all his research and the power broker was funding him, so he had money for the research and all of that and all the experimentations. So I'm like, damn, he really did it. He created the perfect experiment. And it's like, Captain America, his serum was perfect. The Hulk was a failed experiment. And you got the super soldier serum. I'll call it the Nagel serum. that you could put right under Captain America, because I still feel like the Captain America serum was technically better because it enhanced your physical appearance just as well as your inner appearance. Well, inner being. So I don't know. I feel like the Captain America serum was just a little bit better.
I like the subtlety. I like what he was trying to explain with that, because people couldn't tell. Like, you could tell Captain America was on some shit. That nigga juiced up. Like, but you couldn't tell if Carly was really somebody like you should really be worried about. So the subtlety of it is really what comes unexpected, because you like, damn, she beating my ass, and I ain't think she was like that. So, but when Steve Rogers walk up to your ass, you know that nigga ready for business. So I fuck with the subtlety and the stealthiness.
Understandable. And then he brings up Carly, and he says that Carly stole the serum, and the power broker has been looking for her ever since, which we alluded to last episode. And during all this information giving, Zemo kills Dr. Nagel once Sharon makes it inside and lets them know, look, all these bounty hunters are coming. She beat up like 6 or 7 of them before she came inside.
She was kicking their ass outside.
Yeah.
She was kicking their ass. She was on some John Wick shit outside. But
I was low-key wondering if she was gonna die. I was like, wow, please don't let her die this early. She just got introduced. Like
yeah. But the thing about Zemo and why Zemo killed Dr. Nagel, Zemo does not want any more super soldiers. That is why he killed Dr. Nagel. He seen that he was making the serum. He didn't want Avengers in the first place. So you keep trying to make more and more with the serum. He was like, nah, my nigga, you're the problem. You're the people that are testing niggas and shit like that. Like, nah, I had to kill you. He wanted to stop it right there. And he was really the last scientist who was really making the serum like that, to our knowledge at least. So it's like, yeah, that nigga Zemo was like, nah, we ain't making any more Captain Americas in this bitch, dog.
Right.
So I understood his mentality, but he fucked up a lot of shit. Like I said, from Sharon's perspective, he fucked up a lot of shit, and she didn't account for that. And now the power broker is he going to be upset? He's probably going to be upset. But like I said, I still feel like there's a Zemo and power broker connection that we will see down the line. I feel like Zemo
knows of him, and I'm sure he knows of Zemo because, like we just said, Zemo's family history of wealth. You know, I'm sure they know of each other, but it's just whether or not we're going to be right on the prediction of they're kind of in cahoots with each other. That's I'm not sure saying. But I'm very sure that they know each other, though.
Yeah, because him killing the scientist was like, damn, are they in cahoots? Because obviously the power broker wants the serum, but it goes against Zemo's philosophy of not wanting any more super soldiers or Avengers. So it's just like, damn, are they in cahoots or what? Like, I didn't understand that. So they kind of fucked up with the theory a little bit. I'm gonna still hang with it moving forward, because I don't think Zemo's a good guy. Like, Zemo's obviously has to be a villain.
But the thing with Zemo was he just didn't like the fact that he said it early in the episode before this part even came. The thing that he didn't necessarily like about the Avengers was even people as good as Captain America had flaws, but everyone overlooked his flaws because he was an Avenger. And that's what he hated about the Avengers. And that's why he wanted to tear them apart from the inside. It's because, no, like, you all saved the day and you all saved the world and stuff, but you all don't account for how many lives, like, you hurt, how many lives you ruin, like, on your battlegrounds, which ends up being cities that people live in. Like, you don't think about how many lives you change. Like, y'all go home at the end of the day, like, and we're just left in the rubble of what you quote unquote won your fight in, you know. And that's what Zemo didn't like. He felt like it was like, no, I feel like you all need to have correction and be shown that you are flawed just like everyone else. So I feel like that was a big reason why he killed Dr. Nagel too.
And it was also this scene during the show where it was like a close up on the serum, because he had like vials of serum and like in some bottles or whatever, and it was like a close up shot of it. It was like a couple of bottles were busted, but there was 2 bottles that were still like intact. Yeah, I think Sharon Carter ended up getting her hands on those and is going to keep those and end up giving those to the power broker. Like, these are the last 2, so you can make more with those. You know what I'm saying? With those experiments right there, or with those serums. So I think that's something that will continue moving forward. So, because they still have serum available, even though they killed the scientists.
Right. And they almost got caught, but they were able to get away once Zemo. I thought Zemo was going to run. Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I thought Zemo was finna run, but he came on some I'm finna say today type shit. My dog put his mask on, pop, started kicking everybody's ass. I didn't know Zemo could fight and do all that, so that was good to see Zemo do that.
Cause that's what fucked me up when he put on the mask. I was like, damn, nigga, like, are you on the people that are fighting side? Like, what's going on? But he put on the mask just to fight the niggas. Yeah, I was like, damn, like, are you on their side? Like, that shit kind of fucked me up. But then he was like, nah, I'm with y'all. I'm like, okay, I guess so.
And then they split their separate ways. Sam, Bucky, and Zemo go their way, and Sharon gets picked up by, I think it was like one of her co-agents, right?
Or shit, somebody who drives around like a chauffeur, like
something like that. She gets picked up. Basically, they split their ways, and
she also said that they have a couple of problems. They also said that they had, but when she talked to the chauffeur, she was like, "I have a couple of things to tell you about." Like, and you have a couple of problems. So I'm like, one of them is the scientist obviously getting killed. Yeah, and I think that's a problem for the power broker and shit like that. And I don't know what the other problem is, but I think it's all power broker related.
I think the other problem would be that she would probably say something about, she might not name drop Sam, Bucky, and Zemo, but she might say there's other people out there who are trying to, like, what's the best way to say it? I don't really know how to say it right now, but your point, yes, that Dr. Nagel is dead, so you don't have someone to continue to make the serum. And also you got people out there who are looking for you to try and completely stop making the serum. And I feel like with the power broker, that's a source of money. That's a source of your power, in a sense, of how you're able to give stuff to people. So I feel like he's going to be pissed off at both reasons.
Mm-hmm. Because isn't their mission still to stop the Flag Smashers? I feel like that was their mission coming into Madripoor. Is that still their mission? Or is it now the power broker?
I believe now it's become the power broker after what just happened with Dr. Nagel. At first, it was just the Flag Smashers because on surface, that's all they were really seeing and that's all they were hearing.
I mean, so but they're all connected, like though. They're all connected.
Yeah.
Because obviously the serum and shit like that. So, yeah.
Yep. And we get to the next scene where Carly reminisces her life before taking the serum, and she plans to give the serum to the next generation of kids. She basically wants to pass it down and not want to let the next generation of kids suffer like how they suffered after the blip happened and everything. So I'm looking like, damn, is this like it's kind of like that's kind of X-Men-ish, like preparing the next generation, not of mutants, but of super soldiers. Like I thought that was interesting to hear her say.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled anything else from that?
Nah. Because that's what she was talking about her mom, right? Is that what she started talking about her mom and shit like that? Oh, was that her mom?
That's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if that was her mom or they just all referred to her as mother because they all called her mother. So
yeah, I don't know if that was her mom, but yeah, that's when her and old boy was talking and they were outside of the GRC. I remember that scene. Yeah, and they was basically talking about how they got involved with this and shit like that. Like they were scared when they took the serum, and then they was like, yeah, it made sense. But yeah, I didn't really take too much from it though.
And next scene, John and Lamar plan to go on their own off the books. Like we were just talking about earlier, John has had enough of this GRC nonsense. He's like, look, we just got to go off the books and we got to go after this ourselves. Obviously, Sam and Bucky were desperate, and that's how Zemo got out of prison. So we have to take our own methods as well. Otherwise, we're just going to keep falling behind, and they're going to get closer to solving the mission before we do. And I feel like he cannot let Sam and Bucky defeat him on solving this mission, because if he can't solve his first mission as Captain America, he's under immense pressure right now that he probably feels like they'll take the shield. They'll just be like, no, you're not meant for this job. So John got a lot of shit going through his head with this.
And this is why Sam didn't want the shield, because all of the pressure and shit like that we're seeing Captain the John Walker dude go through right now. But look, I think this is something that we will see in the future episodes. Like I said, going back to the Bucky thing with him being recorded while fighting as the Winter Soldier, that being recorded is going to give the U.S. ammunition to say, John Walker, I'm gonna give you like a pass to kill the Winter Soldier, to stop the Winter Soldier and shit like that. So they're going to tell him that. And I think before he goes up against the Winter Soldier, he will get the Super Soldier Serum. He will get the Super Soldier Serum.
Anti-cap. We will get anti-cap.
Yeah. I heard it's either anti-cap or U.S. agent. It was like a new comment that came out referring to John Walker as U.S. agent. So it's either one of them. But yes, it's going to be something along those lines, and he will go against Bucky. And I'm assuming Sam will be fighting with Bucky as well. But that will be something. That video meant a lot because they're not going to let Bucky back into America. Or if they do, he's going to jail because, like I said, he's the Winter Soldier, and they ain't going for none of that shit no more. Like we had got you on that little therapy plan, and you already breaking your therapy rules, my nigga. So it's just like, yeah, you asked what rule number 2 was, and you fucked off all the rules. So it's just like, hey, that nigga ain't gonna be let back in. So I think John Walker will eventually fight Bucky them in the future when he's off the books.
Do you feel like Lamar will get the super soldier serum too? Since we're predicting that John will.
Maybe
just so they can have a duo like how Cap and Bucky was, or Cap and Sam was, like have a duo of super soldiers type stuff.
Yeah, because in the comics they are super soldiers, and they're that's his sidekick. His in the name, Lamar's nickname is Battlestar. So they're obviously a hero and sidekick combination. But in this series of events that we've seen, it really didn't lead me to believe that they would be together. Like, I still feel like they are moving like in different directions. Lamar wants to be like with the government and follow orders, while John Walker wants to be rogue and do his own thing. So I really think he wants to do his own thing, and Lamar is just going to still be doing the GRC type shit.
I feel like Lamar will probably follow him. I feel like they want to make it a little more interesting by having them on different mindsets at first, and then Lamar probably be convinced to help John because he might see that John's method might actually work, and he'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go on this side of the law since the law isn't actually working. So I feel like Lamar will still follow him. He's probably just reluctant right now because that's probably how they got it in the script.
Yeah. And also, they have 2 super soldier serum vials left. And those 2 super soldier serum vials can go to John Walker and Lamar. So that can easily be it as well. It can easily be that.
And then we get to the next scene. Sam feels guilty about the shield and about Sharon. Like we were saying earlier, Sharon let them know, I'm not an Avenger. I didn't get pardoned. I didn't get allowed to just continue living my life. I had to be out of the entire country. Otherwise, I was going to be arrested. And I had to find a way to be successful and survive on my own. So Sam is feeling that guilt. And Bucky and everyone else is kind of continuing to ask him, why did you give up the shield? Why didn't you keep it? And Bucky's telling him, I'm going to take the shit myself, honestly, if it gets to that point.
And also, they made a deal now. But now Sam had told Sharon that if he found the scientist, that he was going to help get her back into the U.S. So it's his turn to hold up his end of the bargain right now, bro. Like, he has to help her get back into the U.S. at this point. So we're going to see what he can do. Because I don't know, bro. At first, I really didn't feel like Sam was going to be Captain America, but they're not really building up anybody else to be Captain America right now. So I feel like Sam would have to be it because they're building up nobody else. So I feel like it would have to be Sam. Yeah. And Sam probably with his pool can get her back in the States.
I feel the same way. I feel like at this point, there can be nobody else but Sam. Unless they come out with a season 2 or something like that over the next year or so after this, and they try to make another person the new face for Captain America or whatever. But right now, I'm just going with Sam.
Because I still don't like that though, because you're basically you're not going against anything, but at the beginning, you really didn't want the pressure of it. And you see what John Walker Cap is going through. He's falling under the pressure of it, and he doesn't want to be a propaganda tool. So I feel like he would still be best suited as the Falcon, and I feel like they would still be best moving that shield over to somebody else and still letting Falcon be Falcon. But I don't know. It's probably moving in that direction, but I really don't want to see that, truthfully.
But this is why I compared it to Spider-Man Far From Home. Peter didn't feel like he was ready to be, quote unquote, the next Iron Man when he found out Tony left him Edith, that new tech that Tony left specifically for Peter. Peter didn't feel like that was for him. He was like, no, I'm just Spider-Man. Like, I'm still a kid. Like, this isn't for me. And that's why he gave it to Mysterio. He was like, this must be meant for you. And I feel like that's what Sam is going through right now. It's destined for you, but you just don't believe it. And you're not going to believe it's destined for you until you're put in situations. And leading up to the end of this season, I feel like Sam will be put in a situation where he's like, no, I am meant to hold this shield. Just like how Peter was like, I'm meant to have Edith. I'm meant to be the next Tony Stark, even though I know I'm not Tony Stark.
Exactly. And that's how they building it up right now too. So it's cool. Yep.
And then we get to the next scene. Carly and the Flag Smashers rob a GRC camp for their supplies, and she blows the building up after they rob them, and the building is full of innocent people. So this is why I said Carly is taking extreme measures to send her message across, and what she said stood out. She said this is the only way to get their attention is to do the same shit they do, basically. And I'm like, hey, she cutthroat right now. Her what you call it? Not her message, but her intentions are good, but she's taking extreme methods right now.
Also, I thought she was trying to be under the radar. Blowing up a building isn't under the radar. And why are you trying to draw attention when you're still in medical supplies and you know that the power broker is after your ass? And every time you log into a computer, like them niggas are already coming for you. So I'm like, why are you trying to draw attention if you're trying to keep running away from the power broker? And I'm like, or what are they building up to with that? Because obviously at the beginning you were all scared of that nigga. Now you like, now I want their attention and shit. Like, what are y'all playing? Like, it's interesting.
Yeah, I really didn't expect her to kill all them innocent people, though. I really did not. Even her crew was kind of surprised. Like, it was still people in there, and she's like, so, like, I'm like, what the fuck?
basically, bro.
I'm like, Carly, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
Crazy. I'm interested to see where her character is going to go. I still don't think she's going to be a big villain. I feel like she could low-key be somebody that could convert to be on their side towards the end of the show, or maybe going into the future, even if it's not by the end of this show. But I don't think she's going to be a big villain. But that's going to haunt her if she does turn into a protagonist.
Facts.
And we get to the end of the episode where Bucky splits from Sam and Zemo, as they're going to the next location to try to find out more about the power broker and the serum. And Bucky is noticing that there's, I think they're called, I forgot what kind of beads they're called, but
I forgot what they're called.
The beads from Black Panther that can detect location and do all of that extra stuff from vibranium. He finds out that one of the Black Panther Dora fighters is tracking them as she's trying to get to Zemo. And Bucky was,
I think her name is Ayo.
Surprised. Ayo?
I think her name was Ayo.
Yeah, he wasn't even surprised. He was like, I was wondering how long it was going to take for you to show up. And she says before they cut the black that she was looking for Zemo. And I'm like, Black Panther 2 Easter eggs are coming soon. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended the episode.
Yeah. Because obviously we already know that Zemo ended up killing King T'Chaka. Was it King T'Challa?
No, King T'Chaka. Yeah.
King T'Chaka. So yeah, obviously they want their revenge because you're just not gonna get away when killing our king, my nigga. Like shit, sweet. Especially when you broke out of prison. I feel like they were cool when he was in prison, but you out free and shit, and you running with Avengers. It's just like, nah, my nigga, you gotta get killed. You gotta get killed. So you understand why they getting ran after. But what do you predict to come from that Easter egg? Because I really don't feel like they fully understand what they're going to do with Black Panther 2 yet because of Chadwick Boseman's death. So I feel like they're still trying to plan it out, honestly.
I feel like the best thing you could do, honestly, is you would have to have his sister be Black Panther. Because in the comic books, like that's, if you want to kind of try and keep it as Marvel as possible, having his sister take the mantle, that'll probably be the best thing, because Black Panther came out 2018. She was a teenager then. So 2022, when it supposed to come out, that's 4 years later. She could be in her 20s now. She might actually be able to take that mantle, and she's still smart as hell. She comes up with all the tech for the Black Panther suits anyway. So I feel like his sister becoming Black Panther will be the best thing for them. So I don't think it'll slow them down that much unless they're trying to give it to somebody else.
Because I don't really think this will have a direct correlation into Black Panther 2. I think this is something just for Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, she's just trying to kill this nigga in this show, get it over with. You killed my king. Like, I'm trying to get revenge. Like I said, I think they're still trying to plan out Black Panther 2. But I think with Black Panther 2, I do agree that they're probably going to move in that direction of going with his sister. But I think they will go with the something like Atlantis theme, because I remember in Endgame, they had talked about the Wakanda was drowning or some shit like that. So obviously that has something to do with Atlantis, and that has something to do with Namor. Namor is the king of Atlantis and all his powers and things like that. So I think that's something that we could see in Black Panther 2, like Atlantis versus Wakanda, like the Black Panther versus Namor, and that's why we get introduced to Namor. I think that's how they're going to throw in that Black Panther 2, and I think that's the direction they will go moving forward.
Because I think who said it? There were it was Nat when she was still alive in Endgame, and she, like you just said, she had asked I can't remember.
It's the other girl. It's not Shuri. It's the other girl.
Okoye.
Yeah.
She asked Okoye what was going on in Wakanda, and she was like, "There's been a lot of tectonic plates moving under the Earth's under the surface of the ocean." And she was like, "Is there a way to handle it?" And she was like, "It's the ocean. Like, we handle it by not handling it."
Yeah.
So I feel like that was definitely a hint to Namor coming into the future. So that's perfect that you just said that.
Yeah. That's why I don't think this has a complete correlation into Black Panther 2. I think it's something that they handle here, and then we move forward with Namor.
But I don't feel like it'll be any big Easter eggs. So when I say Easter eggs, I feel like they might just say like one or two things that might foreshadow like something happening in the next movie. It may not be anything big, but it might be one or two things said. They might even go to Wakanda in this next episode. So I feel like there might be something said, or we might see something that'll play a small part, maybe a medium part in Black Panther 2. So I'm just keeping my eyes open for that.
Trying to see when Black Panther 2 is supposed to come out. So it comes out next year. So
that's
it comes
what I
out
said, 2022.
Year.
That's why I was mad.
Comes out next year.
I was mad in 2019 when they announced that, because I'm like, that's 3 years. Why would you announce a movie coming out 3 years from now? Like, you're supposed to wait till 2020, like mid 2020. You're supposed to announce that. Don't announce that literally like 7 to 8 months after the movie come out. Like, don't do that. I was upset.
But they had announced the whole phase 4 at that one event. They had announced all the movies all the way up to like 2023, 2024. They had announced all the movies.
Yeah, but it's like with movies I haven't seen yet. Like, I don't care if you announce those because I don't know what to expect. I ain't seen them yet. But we just saw Black Panther, and like 7 to 8 months after we seen Black Panther, y'all saying Black Panther 2 coming out in like 4 years. At that time, it was 4 years from then. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, y'all making the hype die down now because y'all supposed to just not say nothing. Y'all, we know it's gonna be a Black Panther 2, but don't tell us. Same thing like with Snowfall. We knew it was probably gonna be another season, but don't tell us like in the middle of the hype and shit. Like, don't do that. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, bro. All right,
we still walking around. We still walking around with dashikis on. Y'all talking about Black Panther 2. Calm down.
Right, what you got for predictions?
I do predict that they will go to Wakanda in episode 4. Episode 4, I do predict they'll go to Wakanda. I predict we will see the power broker and figure out if John and Lamar will get the serum. And I feel like Carly will have a change of heart and not be an antagonist anymore. So I feel those are my big things. We'll see the power broker and figure out what John and Lamar are going to do with the serum. There will be Wakanda scenes. They will go to Wakanda, and Carly will possibly become a protagonist.
All right. I got John Walker will meet up with the power broker. I think that will be at the end of this episode. He will end up running into the power broker. I think by the beginning or middle, we will end up seeing the power broker and seeing what his intentions could be, because I think we will see like a Sharon and power broker like interaction. So I don't think we're done seeing Sharon at all. The Black Panther lady is going to end up running into Zemo. I don't think she will kill him though. I don't think she will kill him. I think she will have a heart-to-heart with that nigga and understand where he was coming from with his pain, because his country was literally just torn apart by the Avengers. So he understands like the loss that they are going through. But it's the king though, so it's like you can't really compare it, but you understand because he lost his country and shit like that, and he lost his family as well from that. So you can understand his pain in that moment. So maybe I don't think he dies, but I still think he has a connection to the power broker. So I think we'll see that connection and see that line next episode as well.
Cool. And yeah, that's it for me. I ain't got no other ones.
You can hit him with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can see anytime that we drop new episodes. Our email, QANDEpodcast@gmail.com for any business inquiries, questions, or concerns. And also, real quick, we are almost at 200 subscribers for the podcast on YouTube. So make sure y'all keep clicking that subscribe button. We appreciate all y'all that have been watching, just sharing, reposting, all of that, commenting on our videos and our live streams. Just help us on this road to 200 so we can start the road to 3.
Yes, sir. We definitely appreciate y'all. And subscribe to all of our podcast platforms as well. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and our iHeartRadio. But wherever you listen to podcasts, we're probably there. So definitely click that subscribe button. Subscribe to the YouTube, like he said, that's Q&E Podcast. And subscribe to my YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and press that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all for listening, and we out. Peace.